this is it. Welcome to Napa Valley, California. Today we are experiencing the all-new Hummer EV SUV. Now, you all saw the truck version. Everyone seems to really love it. It took off so well. Today we're gonna find out how the SUV variant compares. It should be a ton of fun, especially on these amazing roads. Plus, we're gonna off-road it. So hopefully we get to find out if it's really worth the $105,000 price tag. I am such a Hummer EV fan, and this is the all-new variant that we have been waiting for, featuring 830 horsepower, 11,500 pound-feet of torque, and yeah, it's just as crazy to me as the pickup version that I actually reserved myself. Should I change my reservation for one of these? I guess we're gonna find out. We are part of the very first wave to ever experience this new vehicle, and I cannot wait to hop inside and truly test it out. Now, as all of you already know, the Hummer did originate as a military type vehicle, right? We are at an old military base with the Hummer, and this view is just spectacular. It's perfect to really show off the all-new Hummer EV SUV. And as you'd expect, the styling is very similar to the pickup that is already on the market. But featuring the SUV layout, you no longer have the open flatbed out back. In general, the wheelbase has been shortened. Since it does have a shorter wheelbase than the pickup, the batteries are more centered with fewer. That being, there are 20 pack batteries in the middle versus 24. The range is lower, 300 versus 350 miles compared to the pickup, and the horsepower is lower because you have fewer voltage. Specifically, we have 830 horsepower, which is a ton for an SUV. I really do love this tailgate out back with the spare wheel and tire. This vehicle does have the Street Edition packages, which give you the 22-inch tall wheels that look spectacular. You still have Goodyear Territory tires, but this is a much more balanced spec for road use, street use, and then occasionally taking it off-road. It's still off-road capable with the E four-wheel drive, and it does have the watts to freedom, 0 to 60 in just 3.5 seconds. It is properly insane. I absolutely love this paint job. It is their new Moonshot Green, and it looks matte, and it's also metallic. What's really cool about these headlights is that they're not actually lit behind. The lights are coming from the top and bottom, basically reflecting off the edges of the prisms inside, giving you a look unlike anything else. There are so many Easter eggs on the Hummer EV, such as the H's you find all over the place with the headlights, even the taillights, as you can see here. You still have all the off-road upgrades down below, such as the reinforced steel basic chassis down below that you can beat up as much as you want, and the vehicle is just reinforced like a tank. As you all know, the Hummer has originated as a Humvee with the military, right? And this does remind you of a street version of a tank. Given that it is running on the Ultium platform, it's very adaptable. It's really impressive how they can use it to adapt and create different variants that are fundamentally, they look very different and they perform differently, and they give you different optimizations for performance efficiency. All together, backing up with this 22-inch wheel setup for the street variant, I am a big fan. It looks aggressive. You still have off-road capability baked in, but I would say these tires with the rim combo, it is more focused on street use. And as mentioned earlier, here are more H Easter eggs all throughout the vehicle. You even have an H right here in the center of where the wheel mounts, and you have H's all over the rim itself. I just noticed that. Isn't that hilarious? Plus, you do have the American flag hidden away up top. Let's hop inside and see what it's like to drive with the GMC team in California. We are with Zane from GMTrucks.com.
Yep. Nice to meet you.
It's always fun, man. It's always fun. Let's start it up and go for a drive. Now, this view is amazing, but it should get even better towards the Golden Gate Bridge, of course, right? Here we go. So obviously getting inside the Hummer EV is funny because there's no noise. My Hummer, it has a V8. and it'll go through gas. It's a fun experience. I love it. I'm gonna keep it. This is a nice change up. Having the rear steer, I mean, the way we are turning right now, the radius, if we can pull out of it, like watch this angle right here. Cranking it hard right, no issues at all. On the other side of this mountain, in front of us, is the Golden Gate Bridge, which is incredible. But driving the Hummer EV, you really do turn so many heads, and you can notice it right away being here in California. The experience is just so unique because the car is polished out. It doesn't feel like a normal EV where it's kind of like a golf cart. To me, this feels like a proper car I'd want to own. And I think for what they're trying to achieve with it, this is going to introduce so many new enthusiasts and buyers into this field. 830 horsepower SUV, are you kidding me? 11,500 pound-feet of torque, four-wheel drive, electric instantaneous, low center of gravity. It just sounds very exciting, and it is. Getting on power, the torque, the way it comes on, it doesn't feel like it necessarily weighs 8,000 to 9,000 pounds. What do you think, Zane, coming from your pickup? Do you approve or what?
I do approve. It's a little more tidy, compact experience.
Yeah.
Not as intimidating as the full-size pickup is, and maybe a little more comfortable for driving around the street and just everyday stuff.
With the new lunar shadow accents, no longer is it white. One concern I did have when I was testing out the Hummer EV pickup is that what if it got dirty? I wasn't sure what it would be like to clean. Interestingly, there are no like fabrics finished anywhere in the interior. Everything feels like you can get it dirty and wet and you can clean it off very simply. This, though, it's got a nice change up with the vibe because the tech bronze accents with the lunar shadow beigeish gray, it looks really aggressive, and I think I might like it more than the white finish that we have seen with the outgoing pickup truck. The interior, everything about it feels rugged and off-road focused, so that you can pull the top off and let's say even rain comes down or it gets dirty, you'd be able to clean it up. Well, one thing that is funny though, I wouldn't recommend the Hummer EV for a cannon carving because it is a bigger vehicle, but if you're out for the enjoyment of the driving experience, this does pull it off. I am having a proper blast driving it. It's got a sense of occasion like anything else again, and it's why I want to get one. You look at it, it looks like a futuristic Humvee is the best way I can explain it, and the lunar rover references add in that extra just flavor of fun that so many electric cars are lacking. This has got personality. Every body line you look at, it just inspires aggression. Look at some other EVs and they've got no body lines really. It can be a little clamshell. This is special in its own way. I really do think so, and it makes sense why they're selling out. Wow. Look at that view. So the steep streets of San Francisco are of no match at all to the clearance and the off-road capability of the Hummer. Let's keep going to the top. Let's try to find Lombard Street, the famous wavy back and forth street you see all over the internet. Look at this, this is crazy. Thanks, Zane, for turning on the cameras because I can't see anything. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, just...
Oh, shoot.
Wait, she's in it.
Oh, God. Look at this steep incline. This is so trippy right now. Hey, where's that setting where we can see the angle, Zane? How do you turn that on? Off-road mode? Off-road, let's see. We're holding, it's not saying. 300 feet.
Next right onto
6 degrees, is that it? That seems more than 6 degrees, but... Oh, so this is it.
Yep. All we got to do is keep going straight through this intersection after the stop.
Should I turn on crab walk?
No, because...
Oh yeah, that goes sideways.
Oh dude, it's... when you actually need to turn with crab walk on, it is crazy.
Oh my. So,
turn right to
this is going to be pretty unreal. Are we too wide? Oh gosh. How are we looking, Zane?
Really good. Just keep it cranked. That will give you a good idea.
This is very intimidating, but with the rear steer, I think it's working. These cameras are doing a phenomenal job of telling us what to do and how to do it, right?
Dude, you're killing it.
I can't believe we're doing this. Well, yeah, even though this is a huge vehicle, the maneuverability is insane. We have people taking photos and videos down there because they've never seen that before. Looking forward to this. Looking forward to this. So brake at the cones.
Yeah, and if the light's being powered by the truck right now, actually too, or offboarding.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we're offboarding through the new connector and powering the tree and the timing system right now with the Hummer.
I was curious.
So, yeah.
We were going like, what were they plugging into the solar panel array to get some charge?
But no, we're actually charging the display here. So if you want to pull forward, Corey will start the tree.
My reaction time's not quite the best, but oh yeah, it's so funny when the seat vibrates. It starts to build up that adrenaline, right? Up 0 to 60. Yep, perfect distance for that. Wow, that was actually a lot of fun having that tree right there. You know, that it added to the experience.
Yeah, exactly.
For a big vehicle like this, an SUV to accelerate like that.
Yep.
It's a jack of all trades almost, right? And then take the top off.
Totally,
You ever done that before with all the roofs off?
I've never done a WTF with the infinity panels off, though I should.
All right, and now here we are. We have made it to the next location on the agenda. We are going to be experiencing the off-road capability of the new Hummer EV SUV. They have all of us lined up, and they're having us hop in the off-road variants to check out this mud course. Let's see how it does.
Off-road mode, and so we're gonna start out, and actually I'm gonna go to ride height +1. So we're gonna increase about 2 inches of ride height just to give us a little more ground clearance for the off-roading.
How much higher is Extract?
Extract is 6 inches higher than normal. Raised 1 is 2 inches higher, and Watts to Freedom is 4 inches lower.
Wow.
So there's really like 10 inches of suspension adjustability in the suspension. There's 13 inches of total travel. So and then the aero mode is automatic. Above 65 miles an hour, it actually lowers the vehicle 1 inch. And then there's also an entry egress that you can select that's 2 inches lower. So there's quite a bit of adjustability that the customer can choose or not choose. So we'll go ahead and get rolling here.
So you're in terrain mode, you said?
I'm in terrain.
Okay.
You can hear the ratio's different on the rear axle. We kind of call it fork truck mode because the rear axle is actually turning faster than the front. Crab walk, and it defaults to a camera view. Yeah, you can wash them.
Oh my gosh.
Where is that camera?
It is literally right underneath there, right about here. Cool. And there's actually two cameras, and you can wash both of them.
Oh my god!
See where you're headed for, and then when you crest, you can make sure there's nothing like tricky underneath.
Fine.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
You can kind of still get the sensation of the vehicle's pointed straight. We're moving diagonally, and we're headed down through this obstacle here. So I will say there are instances we've found crab walk to be very valuable off-road, and to a certain extent though it's just an awesome party trick.
Yeah, that is just so fun. This shows off the turning radius, right?
Yes. Yep.
Wow.
And we've got another obstacle up here that does it too. It is super muddy, so you're getting a lot of turn, even sliding now, but like that. We have like a one pedal, as an EV, we have one pedal drive, but in terrain mode, at real low speeds, we hand off control to the brake controller. So when you lift, you come to a complete stop faster than you would with just normal one pedal driving. So we want that additional control off-road. So that's why in this mode we do regen braking, but below a certain speed we then hand the control over to the EBCM and it kind of intervenes. So what you're hearing, that tick, 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 that's the EBCM cycling the valves, trying to control our wheel spin. A lot of rocks, some logs. Of course we have full skid plates underneath. Wow. This is 35.4 diameter for the turn circle, 35.4 feet. There's kind of a depiction of that, so you can come in here and pretty much get this thing turned around. Really cool for the off-roader, but it's one of my favorite features because we know people probably aren't going to have these out in muddy fields like this.
Yeah.
So that feature is helping you every day in and out of the parking lot. For that reason, it's one of my favorite features because it's working for you all the time driving around town. You can see it's quite muddy. So we had to alter a lot of the course, unfortunately, because it just became kind of undrivable. But you still get the idea of...
Yeah.
And then we needed a bathtub to wash the mud off, so water fording's about 32 inches capability when you're in extract height. And I did find out though that the underbody cameras, when it's dark, it's dark.
Jeez.
But there you go. Then we pop out and then we give them a quick rinse.
We're bashing
Oh
it
my
over the-
gosh.
Got some logs here just to...
So
They're
all
pretty
those
rough, but the air suspension's really an enabler off-road for comfort.
Have you adjusted tire pressures for this course?
We didn't.
No,
We debated about it, and I'm like, I don't know if...
you really need to.
I don't want the compromising ground clearance at this point.
So it seems like moving to the SUV variant, you're not really compromising much of the off-road versus like the pickup.
No,
They're
I
both
think...
very capable.
No, I totally agree, and I think, you know, there's certain obstacles, like we spent a lot of time at Moab. You'll find the pickup does better. There's certain obstacles the SUV does better. Some of them just come down to being a little wheelbase dependent.
It honestly feels like this is a vehicle that will appeal to individuals who may have never considered an electric vehicle before. You gotta be honest here, this is a fun SUV. And the power, again, just sitting back with Zane holding the camera right now, his head's gonna fly back, but giving power, it's really crazy, right? And we're not actually using gas doing that. With my Raptor R I'm picking up in a few days, well actually when you see this video, I'll have my Raptor R, because this is all under embargo right now. Yeah, I'll be going through a lot of money in gas. With this, I don't think you really have that issue anymore, except you gotta pay for electricity here and there. Let's feel this thing out, shall we? That's not bad for a huge SUV, is it, Zane? Oh gosh.
It's amazing 9,000 pounds can go this quick.
It's unbelievable. I drove the pickup about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, and I really loved the experience. But coming into this, I'm kind of naturally gravitated towards it because I own a Hummer H2. So the looks, the styling is just like my own Hummer, right? But this is a future inspired by the lunar rovers. You have all the cool lunar references like the Tech Bronze, I believe it's called, and the Sea of Tranquility engraved in all the floorboards and even the back. It's really impressive how they committed to trying to make a next generation high-tech, high-horsepower EV, but also they didn't really commit too much into being the most efficient and non-exciting EV on the market, because to be honest here, this is not the most efficient EV money can buy. This is more so, it feels, aimed at getting people to believe that EV vehicles can be the future. I said EV vehicles is the same thing. I will say, I think I prefer the off-road version, because if I got a Hummer, well, I have a reservation down for one, so definitely want to get one, I would off-road it. And having the off-road upgrades, it's a feature that you wouldn't be able to add after the fact. So I wouldn't have any buyer's remorse, I guess you could say, if I bought that version. I do think if you don't have any interest for off-roading, this version is still very capable. Yes, that thrust right there. It's one thing that I don't think ever gets old, and surprisingly, I didn't know that you can leave it on watts to freedom all the time. I would have definitely done that when I had the pickup press vehicle for the street, because the way it looks, the whole vehicle just squats down onto the ground, almost like a lowrider, having these huge 35-inch tires that fill up those gaps. It's just so cool to see. And you have all that thrust, that instantaneous acceleration at all times. Then when you want to wind down, just put into my mode or change up the settings and cruise on the highway. You still have all the amenities, heated steering wheel, heated cooled seats, fully electronic, everything when it comes to the comfort. I think overall they have done a really good job making this a practical, high performance SUV. Another thing that I haven't mentioned quite yet, but is really important to say, I know there's a huge following for 37-inch tires, and you can fit that on the Hummer EV SUV. And the dealerships will actually support it by doing a new reflash for the calibration, making it so that when you're on the freeway and driving, your speedo won't be wonky, and the systems know that you have 37-inch tires. Though there is one caveat, I believe that there are some warranty limitations with that. On one end of the spectrum, you'll have a perfectly filled gap when it comes to the tires and the wheel arches, and the whole look would be finished off. But then again, the warranty might be an iffy subject. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section down below. All right, that's going to wrap up our experience with the all-new Hummer EV SUV. Really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. It really does help us out, and subscribe for much more great content coming out your way. Shout out to GMC for having us out, and yeah, can't wait to learn more about my own order very, very soon. It's really going to be exciting. Thanks for watching again. I'll see all of you in the next video. All right, that's it. Getting out of the all-new Hummer EV SUV. Really hope you enjoyed this video. It was, actually, I can't say impressions out loud. So I'm just gonna say the outro, okay? I don't want to say impressions. Oh gosh. And action. Oh gosh, dang it.